Welcome, seekers of the unknown, as we pull back the veil between the living and beyond. Unraveling questions that plague our minds, and oftentimes presenting the evidence that may prove them true. Let us take you on a journey where paranormal becomes normal, and where what is right behind you just might be echoes of the afterlife or something more. But fair warning, once you step into the supernatural with us, you might just stay haunted.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Stay Haunted.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday. Happy spring forward, right? Yeah, happy spring forward.
Happy spring forward. Happy false springtime weather here in New Jersey.
And in New York.
And in New York.
So we are coming to you live from
Ohio.
Oh, you mean you're not in Ohio?
Ohio.
No.
Oh,
Audra is in
in
Ohio.
Ohio.
She's in Perrysburg, just outside of Toledo. She's at home. Chris is in Elmsford, New York right now. I'm in Terrytown.
Do we know Terrytown?
Don't everybody get excited.
At
Everybody's
home.
like, where the fuck is Terrytown?
That's what I just
So-
said. Do we know Terrytown?
If you
Hold on.
take the city of New York,
Terrytown.
if you take the city of New York and Terrytown. If you take the city of New York, it's like this. Okay?
Okay.
Last week I was in Long Island, which was over here. A couple weeks ago I was in Whippany, New Jersey, which is over here. This time I'm in Terrytown, which is over here. So all my new markets are within an hour. Well, in New York traffic, it's about an hour to an hour and a half. In regular traffic, I'm about 30 to 40 miles
Right.
in the vicinity of my three markets.
Nice.
Throw in this area, it's chaos.
Wink, wink.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I'm about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from Todd and Carmela.
Yeah. At least are you becoming familiar with the areas that you've been here back so frequently?
No. And the reason I say that is because anybody that's ever been to the New York area, traffic is so crazy, unattentive, and bumper to bumper that you don't have time to pay attention to landmarks and where you're at. You got to pay attention to the cars in front of you.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
No.
No.
And in Chris's case, he follows the blue line.
Yes. Yes. Thank God for GPS.
GPS to
Oh.
Google.
Oh.
Google
Because
Maps.
Rand McNally in this situation would suck.
Absolutely.
But anyway.
Hello, everybody in chat.
Anywho.
Hello to Melissa.
Ron, Raul.
Ron and Raul. Yes, Raul.
There is Mr.
Hey, about
Iacobetti.
Minutes from Mr. Iacobetti right now.
How far?
35 minutes.
I thought he said eight.
Ooh,
I'm 35 minutes from Edgewater, New Jersey.
nice,
Easy.
nice. There's Mary Beth. Hello, Mary Beth. Thank you for being here.
Those of you that have never been to New York, I was closer to Ron and Lourdes last week in Long Island,
Raul.
but because of traffic, I was further.
Right.
Yeah, go figure with that. How's that work?
You have a lot of people in a little bitty area that like to drive.
Yeah. Well, that's we can attest to it because we've gone up and visited Ron and Lourdes, and when we go there, depend on the drive up when we go to visit them, it's an hour and 20, possibly an hour 30, and that's just because of that crazy ass traffic. On the way home, when we've been known to leave, later at night when the traffic's done, it takes us an hour. So we're losing a half an hour just to the chaos of New York City traffic, North Jersey traffic. So
Stupid.
Yeah, it's insane.
Listen, I had to work today and I had to start at 11. But leaving at 6 a.m. compared to leaving at 10:30 was like a dream. 10:30, I was like there in 20 minutes.
So did anybody oversleep?
What's that have to do with me driving?
No. Just
If I'd overslept, I'd have missed the flight.
I'm not awake anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not asleep. I'm not awake. I'm not asleep. But it's okay.
I was worried that you were going to oversleep and not get up and go into work.
I had until 11 to get there.
And don't get me wrong,
Well,
I
you know
love some
who
of the
is that
people in
one?
this area, but y'all don't ever fly into white planes. Don't do it. The only other airport I've ever been to that is stuck in the 80s like white planes was Key West.
Mm.
Key West is worth the airport.
Hello, Miss Lourdes.
White
Right
planes.
back at you.
Not good.
How far? You said you had to walk like a half a mile on the tarmac?
Oh,
That
Yeah.
was in JFK last week. Oh, this morning? Yes.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the plane landed on the tarmac and they had this ramp. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank God it's 61 degrees. It was a half mile from the plane to get into the building. Thank God I wasn't here 2 weeks ago when they had the snow-tato or the snow-nado, whatever you want to call it, right? Because if it would have been -5 degrees, I'd have froze my ass off walking the half mile from the outside into the airport today. And then I get into the airport and there's people. It's like the Key West airport. Anybody that's ever been to Key West, that flew out of Key West, people are sitting on the floor waiting for their flight. That's the way White Plains was. I walked in today and I'm like, oh, the flight home is going to. I flew into JFK last week, and JFK was smoother.
I mean,
Interesting.
you know it's like that here, Mercer Airport.
Yeah, Mercer County local airport by us. It's nice and easy.
But you have to walk out. I mean, even
Yeah.
it's not bad walking onto the plane, but when you land, you got to walk to get your luggage. It's a little longer and annoying because you
Yeah,
have
it's not
to
that bad.
go to a hut
Right.
to get your
Yeah.
luggage.
When you
But
land,
it's nice.
there's one turnstile for all of the baggage claim.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same at our
Mercer.
Mercer Airport. Yeah.
One.
So how was your weekend, Chris and Audra?
Boring.
Go ahead, Audrey.
It was, uneventful. We were complete bums on Saturday, which is normally our Sunday day, or at least mine for sure.
Right.
And then Sunday we did a few errands. And then Chris got up bright and early today and left. And it was a run around kind of day for me. So I've kind of been working all day today, but not working, not getting paid for it. How about you guys?
Nothing. We did nothing.
We did the bum thing too. Just
Laundry.
Nice.
laundry. We had a pile
Cooked a
of
little.
laundry. She cooked.
Cheyenne
watched-
took my lemon blueberry cake.
Did she?
Ooh.
Cheyenne took it.
You ruined it with lemon.
No, lemon makes
Lemon,
it
that much, but
better.
it's really, really.
You say blueberry cake, I'm all in. You say lemon blueberry cake.
It was a blueberry cake. Wink, wink.
She
You
kept
would
going
know.
on and on about it. I'm like, well, take it. Okay. I'm like, oh, okay.
You know the college kids. They try and
Oh,
scrap
yeah.
anything. You know.
That's right.
Oh, you're gonna. Oh, I'll take that.
I'll
Yeah.
take that. You don't want that?
You don't
I'll
want that?
take
We'll eat that. So. But yeah, we had a quiet weekend. It was relaxing. Slept in a little bit, like I said.
You did. I didn't.
Yeah.
No, that's a lie. I did sleep
I
a
think we
little.
got up at 10:30.
What is
I thought.
the only reason I slept in
No,
this
I did.
weekend is because of the time change.
The time change.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's oh my god, it's 9:30. I'm still in bed. I was up at 9:30.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god, but it's really 8:30.
yeah.
Really.
So here's what cracks me up about the time change. Everybody's like, well, we lost an hour of sleep, but we gained an hour of time of a daylight. No, we didn't. We changed the time.
That's it. We didn't lose anything.
We didn't lose or gain anything.
We really
sun-
didn't.
It's the same.
Cocos
We
Same
just
London.
old
with it a
days.
little bit. Yeah.
But that's true, Chris, because I always think that too. We really didn't lose anything.
Yeah.
No.
So
You just
here's
changed
the
the time.
debate, and this I'll put this out because this is the great debate with the time change. Who in the audience is pro springing ahead and staying there, or do you want to stay standard time where you enjoy kind of? I like the hour daylight hours
Let's just
at
say
night.
extra daylight hours. We say
Yeah.
we don't get extra hours.
Yeah, no, not the extra hour. You don't get extra hours, but we just I like,
Daylight,
I like the
yes.
extra daylight. I like it being lighter longer. So
Yeah, I like to leave work when the sun's out. It's different when you leave and then it's so dark and. But
Hey,
I don't
Alina.
like to drive at 6:30 a.m. and it's so dark out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Before you know,
Can't have both.
it'll be bright. It'll be light at 4:30 in the morning before we know it. So
And 9 o'clock at night.
and 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
yeah.
Right with it.
So
Bro,
So
I also have
we
insomnia.
have a relaxed show today.
Yeah. We're gonna chill.
Kind of relaxed.
that's why we're
chill.
not rushing to invite a guest in because we're the guests.
Right?
Hi, everybody.
What did Lourdes say? This?
Oh wait, the Stay Haunted crew is your guest today.
Lourdes doesn't give a shit. It's the Stay Haunted crew.
Yeah.
She
I
goes,
really don't give a shit. Who is that?
Lourdes.
Lourdes.
I don't support but I do like to leave work with the sun out. Or not sun, but brighter.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm with Melissa. Just pick one and leave it alone.
Yeah. Here you go. Ron, what's Ron saying? Spring ahead 2 hours instead of 1, then wait 1 hour, set it back 1 hour, and you break even. There you go.
There you go.
That's genius level thinking right there.
Right.
Well, we had spent so many years in Phoenix that we didn't have to worry about it. We just had to think, okay, who is where? Because
Right.
we didn't.
Yeah.
change-
What time are they?
Yeah, we had to think about everybody else around the nation because,
Right.
like, my brother was in Washington and it was one time, and then my parents in Ohio was another, and I'm like, all right, wait, who? Wait.
Right.
So here's a good point Raul said. Dogs will wake him up earlier. So does your doggy wake you up and expect your fur friends?
Our dog is a diva. Our dog doesn't do shit until Audra gets out of bed.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I don't. Lacey didn't bother us either way.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, and then we'll talk about paranormal. Like this morning, I'm up at fucking 4:30. I go out, chilling a little bit because I can't move right away. Right. I leave the house at 7 a.m. The dog never leaves the bedroom because Audra hasn't left the bedroom.
That's too funny.
So for 2.5 hours, I'm moving around the house. The dog doesn't give two fucks
Yeah.
because Audra has not moved out of bed yet. The minute Audra moves out of bed, the dog's a fanatic. It's a neurotic bitch. It barks. It chases the cat.
Happy.
Huh?
She's happy.
Yeah. She's not happy when dad's awake. She's only happy when mom's awake. Brat.
She's a booger.
There you go. Mary Beth had an office in Phoenix, had to call all the time, and the time change really messed with my head for a few days. I mean,
There you go.
Yeah. So, all
The
right.
only thing the time change does to me is try and figure out. So my son still lives in Phoenix, and I talk to him once a day. Well,
Right.
Monday through Friday. I talk to him Monday through Friday. The only thing that fucks me up is I have to figure out what time it is there. Like today, I called him at 6 o'clock. It was still 3 o'clock his time. That's the only thing it does to me.
The only thing it did to me was I got in the car and it said 9:59. And I went, oh my God, I'm an hour
Yeah.
early. And then I'm like, oh crap.
Man,
I still didn't set the
I
clock
forgot.
yet.
I forgot to change the clock.
I
in the
still
car.
didn't set it. But as long as I was early and not late, that's fine.
You know, on the car, you can set it to automatically adjust itself, right?
Yeah,
No.
not
we
not a car.
went through this
The
weekend.
car I drive, it's from 2008.
Oh, you're that car. You cannot.
You hit the little button and you change it yourself.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can do that in mine.
Yeah, I don't know. Look it up. Google it.
Another day.
Let's talk some paranormal.
Paranormal things. So,
Huh? What's happening?
Say that again.
Yeah.
We can't hear you. You're breaking up.
is that better?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So what have we chosen for you for paranormal tonight? We have picked 3 locations that we have all investigated And what we're going to do is we're going to tell you a little bit about those locations. We're going to show you pictures of them because they're pretty.
Mhm.
And we're going to talk about experiences and maybe show you a couple clips, one clip from each location that we've captured that we thought was a great clip.
Yeah.
So you can go out and investigate these locations, especially the people up in this area, because 2 of the locations are Todd and Carmela's. And then
Yep.
one of the locations is down in North Carolina, but it's worth the trip.
It is.
And most of the people in chat have been to the 2 locations that
Yes.
we've
Well,
that
nice.
most people that we've
Majority of
talked,
them.
majority of them have, have visited, and we've investigated there with them. So
Nice.
One of these times we will
You
investigate.
get here, and we will get you there.
absolutely. So what's first up on the hit list?
So first is
Hit list.
Dun dun dun.
dun, 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 the
Yes.
Burlington Prison.
Who's that in there?
Yes, indeed. Historic Burlington County Prison dates back to 1811, right? So it was an active prison. It was built in 1811. It was in operation until 1965. That's one of the original pictures that I got off their website. That's the back side of the prison in the courtyard. So if you look that little shed there to the left, kind of where the chip, the far left side of the back side of the prison, that's the tiers. Right on the other side of that, you'll see there's a one of the pictures I sent you, Chris, they have a replica gallows there. So there were.
There it is.
That's not the original, but they did, I believe, 8 individuals were hung at the gallows in Burlington County Prison. The last was 1906, I believe. There
Really?
was
They weren't
some-
hanging enough.
Right.
Well, maybe just the
Probably.
population maybe wasn't, that big back then at that time, possibly.
Or it's the roaches. Maybe the roaches ate
Or
them.
maybe it was the roaches. There may be some roaches there occasionally
Some.
when you investigate.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the executions 7. So sorry, not 8. It was 7 public hangings took place in the prison's exercise yard, with the last, like I said, occurring in 1906. Famous alumni, notable inmates include Albert DeSalvo, later known as the Boston Strangler,
Mm.
Ooh.
who was held there on lewdness charges.
Lewdness.
He went from lewdness to
Oh
Boston
no,
Strangler.
Just strangling.
Who would have
I
thought?
mean, it happens.
Yeah.
that's a major leap forward
You gotta
there.
build yourself up there, right?
Yeah. So it's actually, I mean, like I said, we've said it before. We are spoiled. Burlington is one of our. I mean, we have a lot of favorite locations, but it's favorite. Why? Because it's a 10-minute drive,
Right.
maybe 12 with traffic.
Wait, here's the best part. Lewdness refers to obscene, indecent, or vulgar behavior, often involving explicit sexual acts in public, or in legal terms, solicitation for such acts. He was showing people his wiener.
What's that?
What did
Which one am I
Raoul
posting?
say?
What did the last one or
Yeah,
the first
last
one? What did Raoul say? He said, "From showing how hung he was to being hung." Nice. That's funny, Raoul. That's some
That is funny.
shit. That is some funny.
That
shit
was
right
that was probably the funniest thing I've ever heard Raul say.
There have been also female prisoners that were housed there. I believe reading, because as you go through, because it is a museum, there are placards throughout describing about the life of the inmates there. Those were the 2 last individuals that were hung there. I forget the one gentleman's name was. I don't know. Can
I can't see
you
that.
zoom in,
George
Chris?
Small.
I cannot zoom in
George,
now.
yeah, George and
Thing.
something Jackson. I want to say I forget what the heck their names are off the top of my head. But those were the last 2. Now, here's the thing. here's a little weird thing about the hangings. I believe as we were, I think one of the caretakers, when we were there on investigation, one of the individuals, and it may have been one of the last people that were
I think
hung
it was
there.
the last one.
It may
They
have been the
never did
last
it
ones.
again after that.
Yeah, they never did it again. When they hung him, his head
Popped.
Popped off?
Mom,
Nice.
they never
And rolled.
enrolled. And the story is they never found his head, or his head went MIA.
Yeah. That's what they say.
Excuse me?
wow.
So they think somebody stole it.
Yeah. And
Ew.
supposedly the remains are buried somewhere in the courtyard or the exercise area, that back, the back picture, that
Well,
picture.
90% of them, anyway.
Yeah, somewhere
Right.
back in there. Now here's a
But
little
not his head.
theory, not that, well, theory, but we went investigating at a location. It was called Mercer Museum, or was it the Mercer Museum, or no, it was Font Hill Castle.
Font Hill Castle.
Font Hill Castle is about a 45-minute drive from us, and it was a person that well off and donated the house. It's now a museum. As you're going through, back in the day when they would travel the world or whatever, they would collect different things from around the world. Well, one of the things in the gentleman's in Font Hill Castle is it's supposedly
Somebody gave it to him as a gift.
somebody gave it to him as a gift, an actual skull.
A real human
A
skull.
real human skull. So I was like, the first time we went there, and we had just visited, I think, investigated Burlington, we were like, could this be the missing head of the individual that got?
You don't know.
I mean, it's a 40-minute drive. Not saying it's a plausible, I guess, scenario.
There's somebody running out of a public hanging with a head.
Yeah.
Maybe it was dark. Nobody could see. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd think it would be dripping blood, but
So
I don't know.
that was a little.
But
We wanted to share
afterwards-
that little interesting fact about the last execution.
And they think we're weird. And they think we're weird nowadays.
Right.
Somebody picked up this guy's head that had just popped off of his body and ran out with it and said, "I'm keeping this shit." And
Keep
nobody
it.
went, "What the fuck?"
You
No.
never know.
They just said, well, we looked, we couldn't find it. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So
Nobody was
Wow.
saved.
now, as far as the history between, I believe there was that's an actual execution certificate that I guess they issued when you were
1804
scheduled
Yeah.
to be put to death at 10 o'clock.
1894.
at 10 o'clock on 1804.
1894.
1894. So you gave them, it wasn't arrested for the lewd behavior.
Right? I mean, why not?
It makes sense. Make it make
That
sense.
right there is
Evidently not,
we
Ron,
went to
evidently
YouTube
not.
on our own.
But yeah, so there have been with some of the various inmates that
Ew.
That's
We're
what I was
there.
making faces for. Like, oh,
they used to hang people and take their skin souvenirs to make wallets and lampshades. Nice.
I mean, you know.
That's like Silence of the Lambs stuff.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
People got to read.
Buffalo.
Like in a
Cool.
lampshade, wouldn't that burn?
Yeah, I don't know. So throughout the location, there is a lot of history. This is just one small snippet of some of the graffiti from the former inmates that were housed there. This is over a big giant archway in as you're going, if you go into the prison cell and then look out, this is above the doorway, the arch. I think this is it's either the second or third floor, one of the cells.
Is it
One of
Artesian?
the basement had the kitchen and the workshop area where you would get, you would go work and, pay your time off, I guess, or whatever,
And the women would have their children with them.
and the chill. Yeah, that's another in fact. So if you got locked up and you had kids,
They're coming with you.
they went with you.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
weird.
Yeah.
Right?
There was no running water. They had fireplaces in the individual cells. And I'm assuming that bucket over there was for,
Peek.
for doing your
I
business.
heard your hips.
I would imagine so. So it's just a really great, amazing location. History-wise, there are, that's how they would potentially shackle you into
The room.
that's, I believe, I don't know if that's on the
On
third
the third
floor in
floor,
the
I
dungeon,
think.
what they call the dungeon, but the dungeon is on actually what they considered the top floor. I guess because that used to be the hottest portion of the prison. So they would, I guess the theory was they used to put, the most high at risk is escaping in the basement. Well, then they found out that they used to tunnel out and escape at street level. And then they're like, all right, hey, let's put them upstairs. And they called the dungeon, they called it the
third
dungeon.
floor.
It was on the third floor. So interesting fact.
Yeah. Crazy.
Paranormal wise, why we like it,
It's crazy.
right? Ron and Lourdes have been there. I think Raul, you've been there, right? There's a lot of history. Anything from voices, disembodied voices, EVPs, shadow figures, you name it, it's got it. We've had some pretty cool experiences there.
And where is this at?
This is literally 10 minutes from our house. It's in Burlington, Mount Holly, Burlington, New Jersey. So it's literally, it's just as close as White Hill is, just
Just the
opposite
way.
direction. So that's why I said when we're lucky as far as having locations close to us with rich history and stuff, historic history, yeah, we're blessed as far as that.
Yeah, you're lucky.
So you tell us it was our first investigation. I think it was going back to first or second investigation going back to, I think it was 2023. And you're talking about green around the gills as far as investigators. And one of our investigators that we were with at the time, she was around the corner in a different room. And we were down at the end of a room that was, the bathroom basically. Has a toilet and sink and stuff like that now because they did add running water later on. And we're sitting there. There were cells. It was the end. We were at the end of the hall, basically like the showers or whatever. And we're sitting there and we're just listening away. I think did you have the fashion box going? But it was low.
It was low, maybe.
And Carmela ties into the video. There's a couple things. So one part of I don't know if it's in that one or not. I forget. I know one portion. I don't know if it's in this one. It may be. But long story short, it's where I believe it was one of our first disembodied voices that we heard.
Wow.
It's like
but did
that you heard and I heard.
You did
because I asked you because you said something on the came across the Phasma box.
I kept telling you, they're saying your name. They're saying your name. That one?
No.
Or is it a different one?
It was the first.
Before that
Say
one?
my name.
Yeah.
We're
I
sitting
don't
there
remember.
and you hear, it's almost like a growl and then you hear bang, almost like,
I don't know. Do we have the clip? I'd say roll the
it might
clip.
not be in this clip. Because I had a couple different ones. And since we were kind of just doing one, so I think I sent this one, but so this clip, I know the beginning part, we hadn't even investigated. And I don't know if it was when Ron and Lourdes were there with us. But we're in the kind of gift shop area and we haven't even investigated yet. And Carmela's got the Phasma box going and we catch I have my full spectrum camera going and we capture an EVP. We ask a question or spirit talker or a Phasma box. We get a response and I ask, oh, where are you going? You'll hear. So if you want to play that clip, that's
okay. And for everybody watching, they do not sell heads in the gift shop.
No, they do
They
not.
can't find them.
They do not. No, they pop and roll.
they duck and roll. All right, here we go.
Chalk. Picture. Chalk.
This is recording too. Spirits walk. Spirits walk. Where are they walking to? I was just asking who's down there. I know you are. I'm just asking in general. Huh. Right. Well, it'll be picked up on the audio.
No, I swear I just said my name.
Can you say Carmela? What is that? Can you clearly say Carmela, please?
I heard the growl,
Mm-hmm.
and they
So-
were talking to Todd.
Yeah. So the first part of that, like I said, you hear spirits
Spirits walking.
walking. So I'm like, all right, where are you going? There.
Mm-hmm. And so
That came across on the audio of the camera. So I'm just like, okay, interesting. So they were, I guess, maybe into one of the other rooms, maybe into the warden's room or whatever.
they were passing by, like, stop talking to me. I'm going there.
Yeah. The second part of that, that's where Carmela was down at the end of the hall. She was hearing,
Get that bitch.
get that bitch.
And Todd.
And Todd. So, and then we thought that they were saying your name. So that's why I'm like, oh, are you saying Carmela's name? Evidently not.
They were saying Todd.
They were saying my name.
But then I said, the phone's ringing. And you're like, the phone, there's no phone.
There's
no
another-
phone is ringing.
There's another clip that we have. I had a couple of clips. There's another one. So at the end of that hallway, they use an old dial rotary phone, a black one that you talking on, and it's got that ring, 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 ring kind of old style ringtone to it. And as I'm down there and I'm turning, you actually hear the effing phone ring, and it doesn't ring.
You hear it on the camera.
You hear it on the
In
audio
real
of the
time.
camera, real,
You don't.
as we're
But
talking.
it's not in operation at all.
Not in operation.
It doesn't work.
Very
Interesting.
similar to the bell we heard on the USS North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some weird shit when I heard it. I'm like, wait a minute, is that the thing? And then you actually what?
I said the phone's ringing.
The phone's ringing, but then also what about the gates? You heard
slammed. They opened and then
gates,
slammed.
the sound of the heavy metal gates slamming. You hear that on another clip that we have of
I said
the
gates are slamming or
the
something.
gates are slamming along those lines. Something
Wow.
to that extent. So a lot of activity, and I'm trying to think anything else.
No. When we were in the basement, they came through that something was wrong with the caretaker. Remember? And we're like, what? And they're
You
like,
tell that story.
it came across watch him or drinking something, like it was they were basically telling
Ring,
us
ring,
that he
ring.
was drunk and he was upstairs. Like, go check the caretaker. And we're like, oh, all right, well, we'll go check him. And he was
And
drinking.
And it may have been, it came across Phasma or whatever,
across the
that, hey,
Phasma,
he's
yeah. Drunk.
such and such drunk, drinking, some shit
fall,
along
he's
that
gonna
line.
fall, something like it was a whole
So we're
thing.
like, oh, by the way, hey, Spirit said that are you
are you
are
drinking?
you okay? Because we were a little concerned, and the Spirit thought they said you were drinking, and he was just like,
Well,
He tripped or something.
he tripped or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it was like
So
he
they
was like,
ratted him
yeah.
out.
He was like, yeah. The Spirits ratted him out. They saw him
Spirit ratted
drinking.
him out.
That's funny.
That's
That was
funny.
weird.
Very cool location. Before, just last one couple pieces of information. I think one of the wardens got killed there by one of the inmates. So, like I said, there's some, there's a lot of history to that location. So,
That's fantastic. Personal experiences, other than the disembodied voice.
Personally,
as far as that, not personally with us, as far as the warden or anything like that, but I believe other people have, had some type of reaction like that.
Awesome. All right. So our next
So,
location
Can you
is
tell us about your location, Chris and Audra?
Can you imagine?
I'm like, wait, you didn't
oh,
say anything.
instead of the picture, I hit the clip. Never
I'm
mind.
like, wait.
I'm like, wait a
There
minute,
we
what?
go.
Ah,
It's
So
the Trivet
pretty.
Clinic.
Such a beautiful home.
It is a beautiful house,
Oh,
and it
very nice.
so the Trivet Clinic it's in Hamptonville, North Carolina, which is north of Statesville, up towards the Virginia line. It was opened in 1932 by Dr. William Amos Trivet. It is historic and now reputed haunted building in Yadkin County. Yadkin is the river is named Yadkin that runs through there. Originally, it's a rural hospital. It was later served as a supper club, a detox center, and a nursing home. The extensive reports of paranormal activity from investigations come from like Alec Matsu has done a ton of stuff.
Right.
I hope that I pronounced that right. Yeah, Matsu. She's done a ton of stuff there. They have paracons there all the time. It was established in 1932 as a modern medical clinic. It's known as one of the most haunted buildings in the South, featuring reports of ghost nurses, former patients, and children. Now, we have captured in the basement, there's, what is her name again?
Majesty.
Majesty is one of the girls in the basement. There's also a gentleman in the basement. Huh?
The young girl, not just a girl. She's lived like 8 or something.
Yeah, between 8 and 12, somewhere in that area. The best thing about the Trivett Clinic is when you pull up to it, it sits in the middle of what is now a nursery. It was set for demolition in the late 90s, and the gentleman that bought the property turned the property into a nursery, and he left the house there, and he turned it into a place for like people to go in and take breaks and stuff in the nursery. Is he decided to retire and was going to close the nursery. Well, 2 of his workers, 2 older gentlemen that are partners, decided to buy the nursery from him, and they remodeled the house. And they turned it into an Airbnb. Well, unfortunately, so they remodeled. You could live in this house, right? The only problem is with this house is it doesn't have a whole lot of insulation, right? So in the wintertime, it's cold. But this house is, and let me show you the house again. It is literally just a big square building. They remodeled it. It's got a kitchen, it's got a living room, it's got dens, and upstairs it has 3 or 4 bedrooms. 3 or 4?
3, 1, 2,
well, 3 that are done.
Yeah.
And a bathroom.
Right.
And then it's got a complete basement. So they did Airbnb there for a while. They've done receptions, they've done weddings at this place. The problem is they opened it as an Airbnb, but because of all the paranormal activity, people didn't like being there. They have recorded approximately 70 different spirits that are active in this location.
70.
And in 70.
Indeed.
Well, the one thing about this thing is when Dr. Trivett built it, he built a pond on the property, and he built it for his wife because she wanted a pond. You built the clinic, I want a pond. He built the pond in a heart shape and presented it to her on Valentine's Day.
That was cute.
And the pond still exists to this day. The best part about it is, and I'll let Audra talk about it a little bit, is the energy in this place is just outrageous. And it sits, you go up I-77 out of Charlotte, you get north of Statesville, and you go off on this little side road, and it literally sits, 10 to 15 miles off Interstate 77, out in the middle of nowhere. And there are still people that
thought we were in the wrong spot.
Yeah, we thought we were in the wrong spot, but you pull into this nursery is how you get into it. And we drove back into the back of the nursery, and it's like, whoa, what's going on? This doesn't look right. And then we went back and parked by the office of the nursery, and there's this little bitty, what do you call those things?
An arbor?
Archways?
An arbor.
Yeah, the arbor.
Yeah. Trellis.
There's a little arbor next to the office door or next to the office building. And if you look through the arbor and through the bushes, you can see a light on. And you walk through the arbor, and that's where this house sits. It sits back away from the arbor. It's not only is because of the paranormal phenomenon that happens here, but it's just in a creepy location. It's way out in the middle of nowhere. And it's phenomenal. We've experienced voices in the basement. We've experienced, we stood outside. We've done 2 different investigations there. One was with Carrie Hopper.
It's just the 3 of us.
Just the 3 of us. And then one was with PPIT. And I actually have a clip of PPIT because the clip is funny. Sorry. this was the first place so I started investigating in my early 20s. I'm almost 53. It gives you an idea how long I've been investigating. This is the first place ever that I've been pushed. I've been grabbed, I've been touched, I felt things, but this is the first place I've ever been physically pushed to the point to where, whoa, something just shoved me. So Dr. Trivett started in 1932. It ended up being, they had diphtheria, yellow fever came through there. His brother was a dentist. He had
the basement. Yeah.
Yeah, he had the basement. There's an entrance in the basement. What's interesting is the first investigation we did there was with Carrie Hopper, and we were there for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, about 3 hours.
Before the owners came by to check on us. And what was funny was we were down in the basement doing a call and response session, and I kept seeing an older gentleman looking in the basement door, because there's a door that goes out to ground level at the basement.
Right.
And I'm like, who's the old guy that keeps peeking in the door? So when the owners showed up, we started talking to him, and all the stuff that we had felt, sensed, and talked about for the 2.5, 3 hours before they showed up, they confirmed. So I'm like, who's the old guy that keeps peeking in the window in the basement? They're like, oh, that's Walter. They knew exactly what I was talking about. I said, there's an older lady on the second floor that keeps telling me that one room is hers. She keeps saying it's my room. And he goes, oh, that's Irma. So they were confirming all the experiences that we had 3 hours after, 2.5 hours after we had experienced we'd experienced the stuff that we'd experienced, which was a phenomenal thing. And then we went back and did it again with PPIT.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey, you want to add anything?
No, I mean, the one time when we went with Carrie, and again, it was nice because it is just, I'll say just a home. It's not large. So to only have 3 people there makes things even better, as far as, making sure that nothing gets tainted or contaminated as far as your evidence goes. We were in the basement and we weren't getting a ton of activity. I know Carrie was trying to interact with Majesty because she's supposed to be one of the really main kind of strong spirits there. And I'm like, there's a gentleman down here. And I mean, he wasn't prevalent a lot, but like you could just kind of feel him in the background. And I don't know how I ended up being the last one up the stairs from the basement.
Right.
But I just remember going, oh my God.
Right.
Out so bad. And I just felt like he was right here. And didn't we captured something, but I can't remember what he said.
Captured the footsteps running up the steps behind her.
And he said my name.
Oh
shit.
Yep.
Now, did you hear in your ear?
I didn't audibly hear it. It was later. But I mean, like I could
feel him.
it. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the stranger things there. And then it's not so much just in the house as the
on the grounds
area. The grounds is like, I'm just going to say like a movie set, because you have so many different spirits from different genres.
Mm-hmm.
You had Native Americans walking with like early settlers, were walking with patients from the 20s
in gowns. Yeah,
I mean, it was like the crazy, and
it was a cornucopia.
it was.
I mean,
It is a cornucopia of paranormal evidence.
Just see him. It was crazy. And then when we went back with PPIT, I sat in with Everett because there's one of the front rooms was again kind of
The doctor's exam room. Yeah.
Yeah, not friendly. It was just kind of yucky. And we were getting a lot of activity in that front room too. I mean, it was hard. So, I mean, again, with Chris, Carrie, and I, it was easier to get that evidence and be quiet. With PPIT, we did as well as we could with the number of people. We would take turns going inside versus outside on the grounds, and they captured a lot too. I mean, they seem to always get some really good evidence.
I actually have a clip. Yeah, I actually have a clip that I caught.
What-
This was caught. Everett was sitting upstairs.
Wait, Todd has a
Go ahead,
question.
Todd.
I just wanted to put this up. Mary Beth, like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be the one pushing Chris.
only I'm allowed.
Yeah, right.
Only
I'm
Audra's
the
allowed
only
to
one that
push
can
your
kick and
stick.
push.
Not that I would.
You would
So
kick.
so let me add to that a little bit. We were on the second floor. You got a basement, you got your first floor, you got the second floor.
Right.
We were on the second floor, and I was standing. The railings in the center of the house that goes up to the second floor.
And they're
And
not
we
up to
saw-
code. So
No, they're not up to code at all. No, the house is set a little bit, so the stairs are cattywampus, right? So we take that into regard when we're investigating. But I'm standing on the second floor landing, looking over the railing down the stairs, and over to my left is the room where Irma. So Irma is a spirit that supposedly, and this is the story, this is the myth, there's no documented evidence, but she had a baby in her 30s out of wedlock. And they back then they didn't like that, right? So they took the baby away from her, told her the baby was dead, and they stuck her in this convalescent home, which was now the Trivet Clinic. And she lived there until the day she died. Don't know how many years that was, but that one room at the top of the stairs to the right is Irma's room. And I was standing there and I was picking up that she had gone, demential.
Right.
And she was, my room, it's my room, it's my room. I actually have an EVP. I won't share it tonight. I didn't share it tonight, but I actually have an EVP. I was standing there laughing. And Audra and Carrie are like, what are you laughing at? And I keep hearing her say, it's my room. Like somebody with dementia, this is my room. This is my room.
Right.
PPIT actually caught a picture of her in the window. I actually caught an EVP of her saying, it's my room. But while I was standing there, of course, the railing's not up to code. It's right about my waist. While I'm standing there, there's a walkway across the room that overlooks the stairs with the other bedrooms and bathroom behind you. I heard somebody come up the stairs. Of course, Carrie and Audra are the only other people in the building, and they're upstairs with me.
Right.
And I heard it come around, and I heard it come behind me. And as it passed behind me, I actually got shoved towards the railing, which freaked me out a little bit. Even after all the years that I've been investigating, that's the first time I've ever been shoved.
Especially you being a tall gentleman and not having a handrail that's up to code.
Right.
Right. Thank God I have decent balance. But so right where that railing is, there's a bathroom at the top of the stairs. To the right is the room. To the left is a restroom. And if you go around the railing and you go down to the end of the hall, there's a bunch of furniture standing there. It's like a landing. It's the old shotgun style house where you have the open area in the center so you can open the windows and let the breeze flow through. Well, Everett was sitting on one of the chairs in that area, and I had a recorder going next to him. And you will hear him say in this clip, isn't this comfortable furniture? Well, somebody didn't like Everett. And where's that clip? Here's the clip. Here we go.
Can you imagine this being like
There's nice, comfortable furniture here.
Oh.
So the reason this one cracks me up so much is anybody that's ever met Everett, he's a giant teddy bear.
Oh my gosh, sweetest.
He's
guy.
one of the nicest guys I've ever met on 2 feet. He's an ex-Marine, which doesn't jive together, right? But let me play that for you again because they did not like the fact that he was comfortable.
Nope.
Here you go.
Can you imagine this being like
There's nice, comfortable furniture here.
That's priceless.
That is a priceless EVP. You cannot.
You can't. That's like,
And it was right on top of the mic. The
Good
mic
shit
was
right
sitting
there.
3 feet away from him. So whatever said that was right next to him.
Poor Everett. They didn't like him at Trans-Allegheny either.
it happens.
It does. I don't know why, but
Sometimes Spirit's just like,
asshole.
Here's the best part. You want to talk about a Class A? I did not enhance that at all.
No.
Right.
Right.
yeah, I mean, that's nice and clear. That's a nice Class A EVP. So,
But if you ever get a chance to go to Trans-Allegheny, it's inexpensive.
for
Terrific.
Trivet.
Trivet.
Trivet. I said Trans-Allegheny. Sorry, guys. You ever get a chance to go to Trivet Clinic? It's in northern North Carolina, just across the Virginia border, between Statesville and the Virginia border on I-77. It's cheap. It's not one of these big expensive places like. I love Trans-Allegheny, guys. Don't get me wrong, but God, you got to pay out the ass to get a private investigation at Trans-Allegheny.
Yeah.
Right? It's $1,500. Trans-Allegheny is $1,500. Then you got to add the $300 insurance.
Yeah.
Trivet Clinic is not like that. You book through Facebook. It's 2 older gentlemen. They're a couple.
So sweet. Oh my goodness.
Oh, they're the nicest guys. They'll stop by and they'll check on you. They'll tell you. They'll sit there and talk to you for 2 hours about the history. It's a great place. They do paracons there. Tons of people have done there. Alex Matsu has done. She has done what 2 or 3 books on the place.
Yeah.
It is one of the most haunted locations that I've ever been in, and I can tell you guys, it's less than 2,100 square feet.
I know we
But if
were.
you're gonna,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, we
You know
were gonna
what,
do it with Todd
Audra?
Carmella, but then we
We
moved.
were, that was on the to-do list when certain
know,
people were
we
still
do.
living in North Carolina, but
Sorry.
hey, it's okay.
For Trivet Clinic, I'd drive back.
I hear you.
Not, it would be in the summer,
Oh yeah,
y'all,
yeah,
because in the wintertime, it's cold.
It is cold.
Mhm.
yeah, no.
When we were there with PPIT, there were so many of us. We did one
Shit.
person in the basement, one person on the second floor because there was so much
And then
audio
another
interference.
outside.
And then one group was outside. Of course, they stuck us out there for an hour and a half,
Oh,
and they couldn't last more than 20 minutes. But that we won't go there. Scott,
Everett was on our team, so poor Everett was stuck with us.
yeah, Everett was on our team, and Ash. Yeah. It was Ash, Everett, me, and Audra, and then we were stuck outside for an hour and a half. But there were some good experiences outside.
Yeah.
The whole property is.
I was gonna
is
say how
quite-
much land is the property?
Not much.
Um,
Even I think the back house, there's another house that sits farther back, and they own the pond now.
Okay.
The Trivet doesn't even own that anymore.
Yeah, so it's the property that the clinic actually sits on, and it looks like a house when you walk up to it. The property is actually maybe 2.5 acres,
Yeah.
but at one time he owned all that property. But
Right.
I can tell you right now, you have experiences outside, you have experiences inside. It is the smallest haunted location we've ever investigated. Hamptonville, South Carolina. Look it up. You can only book off of Facebook. They don't do bookings off the internet. It's
North Carolina.
old school. It's cheap. It's like $300 for up to 4 people, and then $50 a person after that.
Jeez.
It's not expensive, and they've got running water and a bathroom, y'all.
Nice.
But I can tell you, when you're in the bathroom, you feel like somebody's in there with you.
You do.
yeah.
Looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. Hey, what you got there?
Toilet paper.
Lewdness.
What'd you say?
Can they hand you toilet paper?
Could you wind up the
Wind the
TP
toilet.
for me?
Can you
Can you
just
hand me
get
some
that ready?
TP?
That's all you get.
One little piece.
That's it. One sheet.
That's it.
My grandmother
And
gave
if
me
you're lucky,
three. I
double
think
ply.
that was like that era. You were allowed 3.
Oh,
That's
three.
it.
3 squares.
That's fine.
Mhm.
3 squares.
3
That's
squares.
it.
You poke a hole in one square and scoop out with your finger.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Gross.
We're good. And we have one more location that we
Ow,
that
sorry.
we want to discuss. So
Ooh.
before we actually get to this location, real fast, I just want to put this up. Lourdes mentioned this about Burlington County. It's sad that they had prisoners who crime was owning debt mixed with hardcore assassins.
It's true.
I wonder about their emotions. I think them being terrified would stir up activity, and she's
Oh yeah, that would create a ton of energy.
Heck yeah.
very valid point. And you know, we ran when Ron and Lourdes, we were there with them, and they ran TDSE there, and we had some pretty good interactions. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out because I had saw she had mentioned that after we had moved on. But yeah, so that's just adds to the history
But that was the time.
and the activity. But yeah, that was the
Right.
times back then. So
Yeah.
We were definitely a more hardened, unmerciful people back in those days. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Now we're too soft.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
I hear you.
leave it at that.
More.
So, our next location, place near and dear to us, 12 minutes from us,
Literally.
literally, White Hill Mansion. We gave Chris the drive-by tour when he was here back in January.
Yeah.
Like
We got the
after we went
key
out
on
to
the
dinner.
grounds.
It was cold, so we didn't go and investigate. Probably could have called Kyle. He probably would have dropped over because he's not far from there, but
It was cold.
it was
It
cold.
was cold. It's
It
cold.
was
in
like
there.
what, 4 degrees?
Yeah.
It was cold. But so yeah, White Hill Mansion is a place that dates back to circa 1700s. It was purchased in 1722 by Robert Field. When he lived there same thing, this location, and when Kyle does a really good job, they all do. Friends of White Hill Mansion, they all the volunteers and stuff, they do a great job of
Explaining everything.
explaining the history of the location. And it's the same thing.
Hey, dog.
It's gone through, it's a cornucopia of time periods from, you think about it, you're talking 1700 to through the 1800s to the 1900s. So you're talking Native American, you're talking Revolutionary War, and then you got modern times,
Surprise.
Shanghai surprise, because the river's right out back. There have been people that may have gotten shanghaied, maybe. Not saying that it's
Oh my
not
goodness
notated, but it's a theory. And then it later turned into a restaurant.
Because everybody want to eat after that.
It's been noted the mafia was there, so why we have hello, Miss Lacey. Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? Go
Looks
get
like
it.
no one.
Nobody's here. So one of the interesting fields in the history, and you can look this up, and it's all, I'm just kind of reading off their website, but the one curious thing about Robert Fields was, back then he was a political figure and was kind of, he would go to meetings and stuff like that. So evidently, the long story short, he went to Philadelphia, him and his servant, Hessian Shoulders. Yep.
Shoulders?
Soldiers.
Shoulders.
Soldiers.
Shoulders.
So
It's your shoulder.
Robert Fields went on a boat ride down to Philadelphia for a meeting. And long story short, on the way back, Robert Fields did not return. His servant did, and was like, so they found him dead on the riverbank a few days later, as I recall from, Kyle's recanting of the history, using the river to transport legal and illegal
Illegal things.
products. Yep.
Yeah.
Prohibition.
Prohibition, baby. And that, so yeah, that's a mysterious, his death was a mystery. They never found out, but they did find what I think water in his lungs. So they just ruled it as a drowning.
Drowning. Yeah. You know how you say Robert from drowning? You take your foot off his head.
Mhm.
Right. Don't
Um,
push him in.
It was passed on through his who was it? So passed on to his wife after the death. She maintained on it and kind of warded off during the Revolutionary War, the Hessians and stuff like that. Mary married.
Sorry.
It was
She's beating me
Commodore
up.
John Barry.
She's beating me up.
What are
She's
you
moving
doing,
the
Lacey?
camera.
Lacey, I
Go,
know
go.
you want to be. Sorry. So the wife maintained it and maintained neutrality as far as, keeping the Hessians from basically just pillaging the house and tearing it and burning it down. So we're fortunate in that aspect of the history.
True. That's
You
what
have
Kyle
suspicions,
said too.
that the
Mhm.
wife had servant kill him. One of the experiences that I'll talk about, and Lacey, what are you doing? Excuse Lacey. She has to get in on the show.
Part of the show.
Say hello. Hello. So one of the experiences that I've had with one of the spirits, and it's Commodore Thomas Reed, who died at White Hill, and I had interactions with him on the dead bell multiple times. Lacey, what are you doing, dog? Just join the show. What are you doing, Lacey? You got to go. We love you, Lacey, but you need to go. We're in the middle of the show. I can't even think. Thank you. Oh boy, here comes hyena. For those of you who've never experienced the hyena laugh of Carmela,
It's not good to sleep.
no,
No.
she composed herself. I thought full hyena laugh was coming out. Carmela's hyena laugh. It's got a lot of history, like I said. Look it up online. We've had some great. Off the rail we go. Lacey, will you stop? That dog's all wound up now.
Oh,
She's
God.
got circles, and circles, and circles.
That's
fine.
why it's just see me
You all
go.
right? Your glasses are a little foggy. For those of you who can't
Okay.
see, she's a little steamy right up in here on her glasses.
Sorry to sweat.
We because of the
Give me my
location,
sneakers.
we, being close, and we've grown attached to it specifically because of the history associated with known history and mob activity, not activity, but they used it as a kind of meeting place. And I know Carmela's talked about this before. Thanks, Eleni. She's a good puppy dog, but she's getting the zoomies right now. So Carmela, it's near and dear to us more recently because of the history of Carmela's family, of her grandfather, being in the mafia, Philly mob, and finding out when we were there with Kyla one time, he was like, "Oh yeah, Sam the plumber, he was upstairs in the private dining room," and we're like, "What?" And so we've had some good experiences there. Same thing. I mean, Speakeasy in the basement I've had a lot of timed relevant responses with the dead bell. We had an orb capture down there recently with Bob and Lynn that came over from the UK, and we did a Sunday tour, and we just kind of hung around, did an impromptu visitation, kind of investigation there. We had, I think on the one show recently, we shared some new evidence. It was when we did a family outing there. We've gotten EVPs, right? Disembodied voices one time.
Only paranormal people will go. We had a family outing at a haunted location.
But in the family outing, they were jumping out of closets. They were like jump scaring, like somebody else in the
It was
bathroom.
almost kind of haunted house type stuff.
Haunted house. Remember you jumped out of the
I
bathroom?
know. Yeah, boy. That's appropriate, Chris. Absolutely.
I'll kick you under the table. Just don't bring your family.
Yeah.
Like it was
But
fun.
really quick,
It wasn't
before we
serious.
get to the clip, you guys talked about the Philly mob.
Yes.
So let me tell you guys the difference between the New York mob and the Philly mob. The New York mob had etiquette. The Philly mob were nasty, dirty sons of bitches.
Not my grandfather's time. I would say like after him, that's when everything switched.
Yeah.
That's when the drugs and all that came into effect.
Okay.
But prior
Yeah.
to that, it was mostly gambling.
Yeah. It's bookmaking. and stuff,
Racketeering.
right. Racketeering and stuff like that.
But
So,
after him, that's
Yeah,
why they all
after-
died. They all took him out,
yeah, they
including my
wanted-
grandfather.
they wanted to, take the
They didn't want
family.
the drugs.
They didn't want the drugs, right?
The old guys didn't want the drugs involved.
So they took it in a new direction. The one that you talked about, Chris, that was, I agree with you as far as that, the not so nice, dirty kind of aspect. So,
But the Sopranos were about us. Well, I mean, it wasn't about the Cavalcanti, but maybe after that. I have to look into that, but
Right.
I just did read. I did read that, but
So,
anywho,
so paranormal wise, like I said, shadow figures. There's a gentleman in the bar area. So let's talk about our experiences. So I'm going to let you talk about your experiences that you've had the first time that we were ever there.
oh, about the curtain moving.
Yeah, the curtain,
They said my name. That was the first time I ever heard my name come across the Phasma box, which isn't a normal name to be on the Phasma box. Then it said I wanted to marry. You said that she's
Mhm.
already married, and then things went flying in the back. And then you all left me. And then that's when Eric was next to me. He's like, you should probably move because the curtain kept coming out toward me.
yeah, and it's just a curtain. It's a false curtain.
What the
I'm
hell
like,
was
what the hell
that?
is
I'm looking at him like, what? Is he all right?
Did you pull a leg cramp, Chris?
Why are they called the Philly redneck
Ron's.
Mo-
No,
Monsters.
that's
monsters?
who was that?
That's Lourdes.
Oh Lord, this Philly
Philly
redneck
redneck.
lobsters.
I said monsters, but same
Monsters, yeah.
thing.
So yeah,
For
so
redneck.
you've had so that was your experience. What other experiences have you had there?
I don't know.
Well,
all
you did
amazing.
EVP, right?
Well, yeah, that was my grandfather. He doesn't like me. We all know that.
Right.
But if I called him Joe, I said, Joe, are you here with me? And then you hear the voice in the background say, yeah. But if I said Grandpa, he wouldn't answer me.
Yeah.
But we have well, I don't know if it's his voice, but he said he was there.
Wouldn't answer to Grandpa, but
No,
would
answered
answer
to Joe.
to Joe.
Philly Joe.
Trying to think. Did you have any experience sitting in the bloody bathtub?
I mean, it was dizzy. That was all I really remember.
Which is
Yeah.
a natural state for Carmela.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to think. That one time we were
There
there.
were a lot of people there that day.
We were there on, it was National Paranormal Night or whatever it was, but and we were there to support the location, and there was a couple, and it was
I
cool.
think somebody came across the Phasma box. when
Phasma
we
box,
were in the,
and we were in the one back room adjacent to the bloody bathroom, and we were just there doing Q&As. We had the Deb Bells going off on Q&A responses, and there was a young couple. They were there it was a date night.
It was a date night.
They went to
were
our
out
National
for a date
Paranormal Night. They went to White Hill Mansion for a date, and that was their first time ever doing something like that. And so it was cool that they were there, and we got to share, kind of explain some things to them, and we got timed relevant responses with them. So they enjoyed it. So it was pretty cool. And
You have a
then,
clip, right?
we do. And then one last thing before you show the clip. On the third floor, I had gone on an investigation there. Carmela didn't come, and I was there with another gentleman, and we were sitting. So on the third floor it was alleged bordello in one area. Alleged. And then the kids would play up there, and we were sitting in one end. So when you come to the top of the steps, you can either go to the left, what has got like a little kid's toy chest in there, and then to the right is where the kind of another room, and then it goes down into kind of like storage area, but was AKA the bordello. And me and Brian, the gentleman that I was investigating with, we were just sitting there in the dark, had my camera kind of going, my full spectrum, and we're just sitting on the floor listening and just listening. And we heard footsteps, and then we heard a little boy voice down in the hallway down in the other room, which leads me to the other one. When we were there with Kyle and Christina, we got the little EVP of the boy. We were there in the parlor, and we physically heard little pitter patters.
All four of us heard the walking.
The walking of the little boy, which we believe is the little boy that we caught an EVP on. So,
And then I said, are you here? And we got the EVP and it said,
yep, little boy's voice. I forget what the video is that
I think it might be Kyle in the hallway.
Yeah, I think this one that I sent you, we love it. This is actually, so this was, we were doing an SD session, and it was during, I think, National Paranormal Night, I think it was.
Mhm.
We put Kyle under Estes, and he's laying at the top of the steps in the hallway just before, kind of before you could go to this left or right, either either room, and he's got the headphones on with the spirit box going, doing the Estes session. Dead bell's right by his head, and you can run the clip, and we got some interesting
Yeah.
interactions, timed and relevant responses.
All right, here we go.
So I was just getting ready to ask.
bell. I just heard a bell.
Like, did he hear it out externally, or did he hear it
We'll
like?
have to ask him.
Yeah,
That's wild.
because he didn't acknowledge
No.
it the other time.
No.
Calling.
Have we heard? Where would you?
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Where would you like us to go?
So I was just getting ready to ask, what does Kyle have on his head? What is he wearing?
Next.
He's starting to get fidgety with his hands.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
That's me.
That thing didn't go off the
See?
entire time.
I know, and that's what I said. I mean, when
for
Ex-wife.
You're here for ex-wife. Okay.
calm down.
I'm sorry. I did.
Heard you
I did
breathing.
get- I did get impatient with that breath. I did.
He told her to calm down.
Calm down.
Spirit was like telling at the end, because it was up to that point, it was quiet. There was really nothing going on. And then when Kyle went under Estes, the dead bell rings. Now, like I said, the captions, if you couldn't read it clearly, it was basically the dead bell. And we were like, hey, did he hear the bell, or did he hear a bell, or the word bell come through the spirit box? And he didn't hear it. And so he heard a bell ring,
It was a different bell.
but he heard a bell ring. Interesting timing. So then Spirit has a little sense of humor. I was getting ready to ask, I think, oh, what do you got on the head? And they're like, next. Like, yeah, we don't want to answer you. And
And
then,
then Christina was getting nervous for Kyle. She wanted to pull him out, and then he said,
calm
down.
He was starting to get a little fidgety, I think.
Yeah.
So Spirit was like, calm down,
God,
relax.
bring him out.
So it's just that, we're talking
Relax.
about, and you're getting these kind of
Deal.
interesting responses,
Right.
relevant responses. So
That's awesome.
yeah, interesting little clip. I was trying to think, what was the, I was trying to think of another clip that we had from there, but I forget. I had it, but it went poof.
It went poof.
Went far, far away.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Mm-hmm.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. The poof is the age.
Yeah.
So if you ever get the chance to investigate White Hill in Fieldsboro, New Jersey, it's an amazing location. And like a lot
Stay
of
with
these
Todd and
people-
Carmela.
You can stay with us.
You can come
Airbnb.
I had a patient say to me today, have you ever been to the White House Mansion? I said, the White House Mansion? She said, near Bordentown. I go, oh, White Hill. She's like, yeah, that's a great place. And she went there years and years and years ago.
Nice.
And I believe Ron and Lourdes have cut their teeth there a few times when they were doing direct radio voice with the old big German transistor radio, as I recall some of the clips that we've seen, right? Great location, spotlighted tonight. Nicely planned show. Appreciate it, Ron.
Yes,
So
thank you, sir.
much love.
Much love. Well, guys, the reason we bring you this is because the biggest part of this is just like Audra and I did with the Montgomery House, and Todd and Carmela do with all the locations around them, is we can't keep the paranormal going without making sure that these locations, people are getting out investigating these locations, right? You got to keep the history going. Without the history, nobody wants to investigate. And I've said this numerous times on multiple shows that we've done. Nobody wants to investigate a Taco Bell from 1992.
Well, I mean,
Real
I mean,
Yeah. So real quick, Lourdes had a
Never say
question.
never.
What area did we have the most experience? And I want to say it's this, for me personally, the speakeasy. I think for
Speakeasy,
all of us is the speakeasy. and where we've
In the
had
basement,
numerous-
great.
Yeah.
in the basement,
Yeah.
we've had numerous captures. For us, that's our greatest area of activity.
I just like it. It's warm down there.
Yeah, it's warm.
So if
Plus,
you're
it's
freezing,
warm.
you're gonna get.
It's the warm end of the basement.
In
In the winter, if you go in January when it's cold, you got a little reprieve in the basement.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, we went a little bit over time, but that's okay because we're on our own channel this
Right,
this
dang
time.
it.
That's right.
Mhm.
Fuck it. That's the word we're looking for.
We get to
Right.
do what we want.
We get to do what we want. And remember, guys, I said last week on the show that the reason we left UNX is not because UNX was bad for us. They did a great job. They provided us with a good platform to perform on. But unfortunately, because of the direction they're heading and the direction that we wanted to stay, is we wanted to bring you raw up front. And guys, we're not going to change our show because of money, because we don't get none, right? Our show is, we like to have fun. We like to bring our show to you guys. We like to bring on guests and present locations, people with abilities, and talk about the paranormal. And that's why we do what we do. We don't do it for fame. We don't do it for fortune, because none of us are famous. We are fortunate, but none of us are famous, and none of us get paid. So that's why we're here every week, and that's why we bring you the show every week, and that's why we pull away from UNX. God bless UNX. I hope they do successful in what they're going to, but we are going to continue to bring you unedited, very raw, stay haunted. That's how it's going to end up every week, guys, and that's what we're going to do. Any last things before we?
I just want to tell Mary Beth that we lost 2 puppies before ours, and it is the hardest thing ever. It's really, really hard, and sometimes we actually hear them still wandering around here.
Man.
But then it's, I don't know how many years. I don't even think it was a year the kid showed back up with this crazy nut Lacey. And it helps. But it's like your own kids. You lose them and it sucks, but what can you do?
Yeah.
I know.
So it does get better, but with time.
Yeah, all we can do is angels with wings, right? The angels without wings is what we have as pets, and we just got to make sure that we give them as much love as we possibly can, because their lives are much shorter than ours.
Right.
And that's what we hope for. So we need to provide them with the same love and care that we hope for every day, right? Make sure when they go, they know they were loved. That's all we can do.
And we were there with them till the end and help them cross over. So I just want to say thanks to everybody for hanging out with us again. Like you said, Chris, we're not here for the fame and fortune or whatever. We're passionate about the field. We're truly curious about the what lies after with the veil, and why we really got involved more intently. And it's coming up on 4 years now. It's hard to believe, almost 4 years since we started doing investigations. And we've learned a lot, like I said, just to from you both. We're grateful for the friendships and that we've developed with you two, with Ron and Lourdes, Raul, everybody, that we've met over the past 4 years, and blessed to, to investigate some great locations and learn a lot, be educated, and, go in with open mind, and, to try and, get some answers. Ultimately, we don't know if we're going to get those answers in our lifetime, but, it's great. And we appreciate everybody coming out every night or every Monday night to join us and listen to us and share some of our experiences.
Yeah.
So we appreciate it. We really, truly do.
So we will return next week, guys, with a great guest, so we can talk some more paranormal. But until that time, get out to these locations, support them, make sure they survive, make sure they stay paranormal, and make sure they stay haunted. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a good night.
Night.